Unyielding, Vikramarka went back to the tree, took the dead body down from the tree, put it on his shoulder, and walked silently to the grave as usual. Then Bethaludu and the corpse said, "King, in the midst of the pitch darkness, where you can't see even if you poke your eyes out, when I see the toil you are doing in this graveyard that brings tears to my eyes, every time I feel pity for you as well as anger. Because, only selfishly for his own good. A person who wants to achieve any supernatural power loses his temper and backs down when faced with a few obstacles. Also, one who undertakes to keep a promise made to others or for the welfare of society can sacrifice himself if necessary in his endeavor. However, sometimes there are foolish, stubborn people who do not know what is good for themselves and what is good for society. I don't know who made you do this hard work. If there is a doubt that you can donate what you have achieved so hard to any poor person. Elders say that Rakshasudidanam is a cause of sin. It's not just humans, applies to both demons and gods. Let me tell you how the Rakshasa, who is the bloodthirsty, foolishly gave away the pearl of supernatural powers that he passed, without knowing the effort. Listen, he continued to say like that. In Dandakaranyam, there was a demon named Rakshasudidanam. That wilderness is Himagiri. Simhapuri connects the two kingdoms. Therefore, many passers-by were traveling. A bloodthirsty would kill and eat whoever he found. Once upon a time a Gandharv maiden named Chandrakanta came to see the wonders of the world. She is an amazing beauty. Very kind-natured. While she was walking in Dandakaranyam, one of the pearls she was wearing around her neck slipped and fell down. Chandrakanta did not notice it. After some time she went from there to Gandharvaloka. While Rakshasudidanam was searching the forest for passers-by, he saw Mani who had lost his moonlight. It was emitting strange lights. Rakshasudidanam took it and wore it as a necklace in metta, saying that it was good. As soon as he wore that Mani, there was a tremendous emotional sensation in Rakshasudidanam. In the heart of the supremely cruel man, mercy and compassion took place for once. Meanwhile, his attention fell on the passers-by who were traveling by. A little boy is begging his father to pick him up. "Father, I have no patience, he is angry with him to walk." Seeing this, Rakshasudidanam went to them and said, "If the little one is unable to walk, can't you pick him up? Sit on my shoulders, I will reach the destination in a moment," he said. On seeing the monster, the wayfarer got scared and ran away with his son. When the passerby appeared, he burst into hunger and wanted to help him. He sat under a tree wondering what had happened to him. He saw a monk named Dharmavadu passing by. He is a great ascetic. Realizing the cause of his grief, he approached him and said, "Rakshasa, your behavior is strange to you. The reason for that is the mani you wear around your neck. That pearl belonged to a very compassionate Gandharv girl named Chandrakanta. That mani has the glory to satisfy the desires of the mind. Therefore, if you want to help others, you can take human form and help," he said and went ahead. Rakshasudidanam, hearing the sage, wanted to take human form to test the effect of mani. The next moment his form changed into a human form. From that day on, Rakshasudidanam continued to help the wayfarers traveling through the forest. He put an end to the robbers who were robbing them. He dug wells here and there on the way so that the passers-by would not have to worry about getting water. He cut the thorn bushes and paved the way. However, there was an unexpected problem. While Muni Dharmaveda was explaining the effect of mani to Rakshasudidanam, the spy of Simhapuri heard a diffier hiding on the branch of the tree. He declared war on the neighboring kingdom of Himagiri and planned to annex it into his kingdom. King Vijayaditya of Himagiri was the lord of Dharma. The kingdom is prosperous under his rule. People are spending time happily. Hearing Vikrama Betha's offer of war, Vijayaditya was shaken. The reason is that Himagiri is economically and militarily weaker compared to Simhapuri. Vikrama Betha did not agree to the peace proposal sent by Vijayaditya and the war was going to be inevitable. Aditya, the spy of Simhapuri, told King Vikrama Betha of what he had seen in the forest, and explained that if he obtained the glorious pearl from the demon, he could conquer all the surrounding kingdoms. Hearing this, Vikrama Betha was so happy that he became the emperor. He set out on a chariot to seek the help of Rakshasudidanam. At the same time King Vijayaditya of Himagiri set out on a tour of the kingdom in disguise to find out what his people thought about the coming war. At one place he saw the sage Dharmaveda resting under a tree. Vijayaditya noticed the divine radiance on his face, approached him and bowed humbly and stood with folded hands. Dharmaveda and the king saw Taripara and said, "King, I understand your pain. There is only one way to face the king of Simhapuri, Vikrama Betha. You immediately leave and go to Dandakaranya. There is a demon named Rakshasudidanam. He was then transformed by the influence of a mani and helped those in distress in human form. You can recognize him because of the mani around his neck. Explain the situation to him and try to get that powerful mani, he advised. Vijayaditya immediately set out on horseback to meet Raktatarpana. But, in the meantime, Vikrama Bethala, king of Simhapuri, met Raktatarpana in human form and said, "O Rakshasudidanam, I have heard about them. I am Vikrama Bethala, king of Simhapuri. I came to their darshan with the good intention of bringing all the kingdoms that were quarreling among themselves under one umbrella and ruling in a popular manner. If you are a kind and influential man, you will help many people," he pleaded. To that, Raktatarpana said, "I must first come to your kingdom and see how your rule is. Only then can I decide on Mani's return," he said. Vikrama Bethala thanked the demon and left for his capital. On that day Vijayaditya, spotting the demon in the forest, said, "Mahanubhava, I am King Vijayaditya of Himajayrai. King Vikrama Bethala of Simhapuri is ambitious and wants to usurp my kingdom. I cannot defeat him except with the help of your mani. I believe that a righteous person can help me," he said. Raktatarpana said, "King, don't worry. When I come to your kingdom and observe the condition of the people, I will decide to help you. I have given the same word to your enemy Vikrama Bethala too," he said. Vijayaditya bowed down to Raktatarpana and left for his kingdom. Raktatarpana first went to Himajayrai kingdom. Seeing the conditions there, Vijayaditya realized that the Lord was righteous and the people were happy under his rule. He also learned that the king of Simhapuri was raising an army to conquer that kingdom. Later he went to Simhapuri kingdom. There he learned thoroughly about the brutal rule of King Vikrama Bethala and his desire to expand the kingdom. Raktatarpana thought for a while as to which of the two kings should give the powerful mani, then met King Vikrama Bethala and said, "King, I want to give you this pearl of influence, accept it." He gave mani to him and went away into the forest. Bethala told this story and said, "King, what the blood sacrifice did was just an apathrata. Vikrama Bethala not only rules his people very cruelly but also has ambitions to conquer neighboring kingdoms through war and become emperor." Raktatarpana himself knew this. Donating an influential mani to such a king means that the king will be more willing to help his people and the people of the neighboring kingdom to do violence? Why did Raktatarpana commit himself to such a foolish act of sacrifice? If that mani had been donated not to Vikrama Bethala, but to Vijayaditya, who was a very peaceful person and the Lord of Dharma, he would have defeated Vikrama Bethala who was coming to war against him and would have ruled the people of that kingdom righteously? "If you know the answer to these doubts and don't say it, your head will explode," he said. To that Vikramarka said, "The work done by Raktatarpana may appear foolish and inconsiderate. But he acted very wisely based on his own experience. The mani, who was a cruel man who used to kill and eat humans, became very gentle. Therefore, Vikrama Bethala, who starts wars and prepares for the destruction of the people with the ambition of the kingdom, that mani must be pure and the Lord who rules the kingdom in the interest of the people. The mani will not have any effect on Vijayaditya, who is materialistic and sattvic, and who walks on the path of Dharma. So donating it to him is futile." Raktatarpana, who thought of all this, donated mani to the worthy person, he said. When the king was thus silenced, Bethala, consorting with the corpse, returned to the tree. Fictional. Source, N. Written by Savanaj Swararao.